money, you're gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this the short version. You know, get you a couple dollars, man. You're gonna feel different.
Next little Nip Hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Dogg Pound, Junior Mafia, Outlaws. Everybody been speaking about the legendary time of Tupac, Biggie Smalls, East Coast, West Coast. We've been reacting to quite a few of them. Napoleon back up on Cal Capone, and he talking about a run-in with Snoop. None other than Snoop D-O-double-G. Let's see what he talking about, what happened between these two. Man, Snoop been caught up in this saga as everything but loyal to the soil. Oh, mama. Let's see what the outlaw talking about, though.
Tupac did so much work. He got out of jail, and then I mean, he was only out of jail like a year, not even a year before he passed away, right?
Yeah, I would say he was out of jail for like I think he was only on death row for 9 months. But you know, when you look back at it, it's crazy because it feel like it was years. Like it feel like a lot. It doesn't feel like less than a year that we was on death row while Pac was alive. Like it just seemed like it was a lot of work. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff happened. That's crazy. It's crazy.
He filmed like 3 movies, right? I mean, a Gridlock, a Bullet, and I want to say one more.
Now, Bullet was way before he went to death row, but he did at least 2 Gridlock.
Poetic Justice.
And Gridlock, and then there was a police movie he did with the Belushi guy.
Right.
So he did at least 2 movies, and
at least,
and then like so many albums, so many records. So he was busy for 9 months, for 25 years old, fighting so many cases. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't really, you know, that was a heavy load. You know, when I look back at it now, I can say, wow, 25 years old. Even the way he carried himself, he always seemed more mature, more older.
Fact.
You understand? So. Yeah, so people got to keep that in mind too. Like when they say, well, he did this and he started that, and he was really a kid though, 25, young man basically.
Did you have problems keeping up with Tupac? Like, were you with him, you know, from the time he got out of jail to the time he passed away? Were you with him that whole time?
I was with him. I lived with him. You know what I mean? All of the outlaws, we lived in the same house with him. From the time he went to prison, we was visiting him. You know what I mean? And when he came to death row, we was there. That's what brought us to LA. So we was with him the whole time.
So,
you know?
So you guys were working from the minute you got up to the minute you went to sleep?
Nah, stop, bro. Like I could say what led me to realize that our work ethics was different is when, you know, not to put them down, like Snoop and them probably be in the studio, they might do 1 song a day. Like we're going there, we hear a song, 1 song a day. But I remember when we went to Houston, because we signed like a deal with Rap a Lot at one point after Pac passed away. And even Jay Prince, I see him if I see him to this day, sometime he bring this up. And I remember all the artists, like big artists, they would probably do 1 song a day. But we was doing 3 or 4 because that's how Pac trained us. So when we start seeing artists only doing 1 song a day, that was weird to us. But it wasn't the norm. Pac made us believe it was the norm because that's how he worked. His work ethics was like that. We had to just keep.
If you one artist, and back then they usually do 3 verses, working on 3 verses, versus 3 artists working on 1 verse apiece. I mean, you can look at it that way too. A group that has to do, you know, a third or fourth of the work is going to be able to produce more work in a similar amount of time.
Keep up with him. So when you started realizing that his work ethics was a little more focused and a little more intense than others, you know, I didn't see that until he passed away. Realized that until he passed away.
What was like the fastest song you ever seen him write? Is there ever a time where you seen him write a song so fast you were like, there's no way?
So many, but I just remember that Machiavelli album. I couldn't believe it was done because my grandmother passed away. So I went back to Jersey to bury her. And I was calling, you know, still calling LA, checking up on everybody. And they like, man, Pop about to start his new album, you know, Machiavelli album, this and that. So I'm like, oh, cool. I'm gonna get back and get on some songs and stuff like that. And I remember calling like 6 days later, they like, it's finished.
Damn.
Album finished. And I got back and I
did Machiavelli in 6 days. That's a lot of Pac work. It sound like he rushed it. Machiavelli don't fit that. That's deep.
did the last song we ever done, and the last song I ever done with him was Life of an Outlaw song. But they was like, yeah, it's finished. I'm like 6 days later. That's why I call it the 6-day or 7-day theory, something like that. Like,
just said it.
Like done. Like I'm on to the next.
Damn, that's wild, man. Okay, I seen that, you know, after Tupac passed away, that you confronted Snoop.
Yes. Yes.
So what all happened with that?
So after Pac passed away, Death Row called a meeting. We went back to LA. And Suge called a meeting with all the artists, everybody that's on Death Row. And for some reason, he told me to speak. That, you know what I mean? Like everybody was talking, and then Suge was like, you know, we're gonna let Pac little homie speak. And everybody was saying they love about Pac, but what I went straight at Snoop. You know what I mean? Because I'm confused. I want, like, he was talking like this love, and I miss him and I love him, whatever he was saying. But then I was like, you know what, Snoop, man, you saying all of this stuff about Pac, but you were just on the radio saying that Biggie and them is not your friend. I mean, your friends, and then you in Pac face dissing Biggie and them, and you know what I mean? You really was acting like Two-Face, and you wasn't really a friend like that. Like, you saying all of this good stuff now, but why would you do that to your man if you really loved him? Like, you know what I mean? Like these type of words. And I remember he said something on the lines of Pac was more like Malcolm X, I'm more like Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? And which I kind of understand. People personality is different. Basically, Pac is a little more fiery. He's more diplomatic. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? And so I just started coming at him about that. Like, bro, why you do this? Why you did that? Why, you know what I mean? And yeah, I just couldn't do a talking without at least, getting that off my chest,
How was it received by everybody, do you think?
Everybody was quiet, because after that, Snoop, he very diplomatic.
They appreciated it. They appreciated you getting at him like that.
Like he started saying, well, some things we didn't agree with because he Malcolm X, I'm Martin Luther King, I love him, and you know what I mean? Like, but I could tell ever since then, my relationship with him, it wasn't like we were like tight like that, but I could tell he probably was like, wow, this is the one that's gonna speak. Like he, it was a little distance after that. You know what I mean? It was a little distance after that. But and that's how like usually when a person die, when your homeboy die, especially if you're from the streets, the code of the streets, you look out for them or you look out for their family. But when Pac died, it wasn't really no love. You start seeing people true color.
Were you guys still around Death Row after Tupac passed away?
So after Pac died, what happened is we went to Atlanta and we chilled with Pac mom's home for a little bit. And we was just trying to figure out what's the next strategy, what we're gonna do. Some of us went to Jersey, and I always had a relationship with Suge to a degree. And I also had a relationship with like Reggie and stuff like that. I was one from the Outlaws that always kept these, phone calls. So I would call Death Row, you know what I mean? And eventually we wanted to get back in the music industry. So the only people that we was familiar with was Suge and them. So we called, I believe I spoke to Reggie or Suge brother-in-law. I'm like, look, we ready to come back. We ready to work. And they was like, y'all want to be on Death Row? I think they was a little shocked. It might have been Reggie or one of them might. And I was like, yeah, tell Suge. Suge was locked up at this time that, yeah, we want to come back and we want to work. And that's how we was able to get that contract and started working with Death Row. But it didn't work out, because Suge never released the album. And I think he wanted to buy a publishing and we didn't agree with it. Like something like that. And then after that, it's like it felt like they were shelving, like just put us on the shelf.
What's up, this Cam Capone?
Okay, Napoleon, I didn't know, man. Was shiny. You acting like you got all this love for the homie, but when he was here, you wasn't loyal. Spoke up, got a salute him for that. Rest in peace, Tupac. That was I believe it. It sounded like a genuine story. Don't like he put no extras on it. Oh my mama.
Get you some money, you gonna feel different.
Straight up.
You might even, all that other advice I could have gave you, this the short version. Get you a couple dollars, man. You gonna feel different.
Hey, little Nip Hustle. Big shout out to SPR, Spotter Low. I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.